So this is a really weird thing, Lewis. How long has it been since we talked about Rick Perry on this show, would you say?
Uh, Not long enough.
Well, okay, but it's definitely been at least a couple of months, hasn't it?
At least, yeah, definitely.
And how long has it been since Rick Perry has been in the news?
Maybe even longer.
Yeah. So which implies we were talking about him even when he wasn't in the news. But putting that aside, this is really weird. So I had a really weird dream last night involving Rick Perry. And I don't remember the specifics of the dream, but I remember that in the dream, Rick Perry was speaking to me in he was speaking in English with what would be kind of like a German accent, whereas it was someone who originally grew up speaking German and learned English later in life. I have no idea what that dream means. I really have no idea. We could have probably a whole segment interpreting the meaning of that dream. But in any case, I wake up and I get to my office and I start looking through different news websites, and I see a story about Rick Perry. And it's weird when this happens because, like I said, we haven't talked about Rick Perry for months. He hasn't been in the news for months. All of a sudden, I have this bizarre dream where Rick Perry has like an accent from German, and now he's in the news. I don't know what that means. But in any case, I have a Rick Perry story for you. That's really what I'm trying to get at. And in this story, Rick Perry says that implementing Obamacare is actually a criminal act. He said yesterday that moving forward with President Obama's healthcare reform law, which was, of course, democratically passed, upheld by the Supreme Court, could be a felony and a criminal act. This was at a campaign event for Republican New Jersey Senate candidate Steve Lonegan, and Perry blamed Democrats for the government shutdown. That's basically par for the course, Lewis. And also criticized them for even not considering defunding Obamacare. He said, if this healthcare law is forced upon this country, by the way, democratically passed, the young men and women in this audience are the ones who are really going to pay the price. And that, I suggest to you, reaches the point of being a felony toward them and their future. He went on. That is a criminal act from my perspective, to put that type of burden on them, to mortgage their future like that. America cannot stand that. Has Rick Perry ever seen that cartoon about how a bill becomes a law with the music and stuff? Someone should show that to him, Lewis.
I think that, yeah, I don't think he has a firm grasp on how laws come into existence in this country. I also think it's hilarious that this felony somehow got by the Supreme Court.
Right. The Supreme Court upholds felonies. I really am confused, though, Lewis, because these people like Perry and so many others, they claim to be patriots that love America, but they don't seem to like anything about America, and they're doing their best to destroy America and prevent Americans from having the simplest things, like, for example, slightly cheaper and less restrictive healthcare. It's not even like that big of a thing. It's good, but it's not single payer by any means. So over the last few days, we've had the Affordable Care Act compared to slavery, the Soviet Union, a felony. We've had fighting against Obamacare likened to fighting the Revolutionary War for independence from England. Hitler comparisons of all kind have been made. Maybe we really can't blame Rick Perry for this, right? I mean, he didn't personally rewrite those textbooks in Texas. He's only going by what they say, maybe. I don't know.
You know, there are a lot of Republicans who are just telling straight up lies about Obamacare, and they know they're lying about it. But there are also lots who just really have no idea what it is, what it means, or what it does. I think Rick Perry may be one of those people. I'm not 100% sure, though.
Yeah, we need a little more investigation to figure out which of the two camps, both of which should never be governors, Rick Perry fits into exactly.